this video before it's removed from the internet.
In 1926, they came out with a booklet about how to use sodium bicarbonate as a medicine. Sodium bicarbonate is probably the most useful substance there is. There are books that talk about hundreds of common uses: cleaning the refrigerator, dealing with diaper rash. The list is endless. As a medicine, it is crucial. It also, as a medicine, is the least expensive medicine there is. You can buy 50 pounds for less than $50. So we're talking very inexpensive because it's common baking soda. And yet in injectable form, you have to have a license to use it. Though it's very useful taken orally and transdermally, like in baths. In fact, it's so useful I put it in between my toes to control toe fungus in between my toes. Baking soda is a very flexible medicine, like magnesium. It can be taken orally, it can be used transdermally, it can be injected, it can be nebulized, and there's a company that makes a capsule that combines sodium bicarbonate with glutathione. Break open the capsule and put it into the nebulizer, and you're directly treating the lungs. It is not very well absorbed through oral means, so this transdermal route is a very powerful tool. I recommend sodium bicarbonate baths. Usually I recommend 1 pound or 2 pounds in a bath. I've had people write me, have used up to 5 pounds. And they told me the bicarbonate was coming out of them for 2 weeks afterwards, so I wouldn't recommend so quickly that kind of level. But starting out with 1 pound of sodium bicarbonate and 1 pound of magnesium chloride bath flakes or Dead Sea salt. People have been using for years Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate, which is okay, but it just doesn't, the medical effect is not as strong as using magnesium chloride. So these baths are very, very nice. Orally, for cancer, I'm the only doctor in the world who's written a book, a full medical review on sodium bicarbonate, on the simple baking soda. And I always suggest it to be part of a protocol for cancer. This is a very important point because there are many reasons to sustain and quite a bit of clinical and experimental science to sustain Dr. Tullio Simoncini from Rome, his use of sodium bicarbonate in treatment, also in the treatment of kidney disease, also in the treatment of diabetes. In fact, we find that in the 21st century and in the century before, with all of these toxins combining in the face of our nutritional deficiencies, people have become acidic. The modern or normal condition of human beings or of our patients is they're acid. Their whole environment is acidic.
Well, I believe we all know that baking soda is good for us. However, unless you do your research, like everything else in this world, we've been deceived. Have a look.
Baking soda is one of those products most people never question. It's cheap, it's everywhere, and it's marketed as pure and harmless. But here's the truth most consumers don't realize. Not all baking soda brands are created equal, and some should never be used in your kitchen, on your skin, or in your home. Many popular baking soda brands on American shelves are heavily industrially processed, sourced from questionable raw materials, or produced using methods that prioritize low cost over purity. While the label may say 100% sodium bicarbonate, it doesn't tell the full story about contamination risks, manufacturing standards, or how the product was refined. Low-quality baking soda can contain trace impurities, inconsistent particle sizes, and reduced effectiveness. This matters not just for baking, but also because baking soda is often used for cleaning, deodorizing, oral care, and even skin care. When purity is compromised, the risks multiply. Another major issue is misleading branding. Some companies rely on decades-old trust or natural marketing language while quietly cutting corners in sourcing and processing. Consumers assume all baking soda is the same, and that assumption is exactly what allows poor-quality brands to thrive. In today's video, we're exposing 10 baking soda brands you should think twice about buying. These are brands that may look harmless, but fall short when it comes to purity, sourcing transparency, and overall quality. And don't worry, we won't leave you guessing. By the end of this video, you'll know what to avoid, why it matters, and how to make smarter choices the next time you're in the grocery store. Before we begin, do yourself a favor. If you care about what goes into your food and your home, hit like, tap subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss videos that protect your health and your wallet. Now, let's get into it. Baking soda. Brand number 1. Arm & Hammer. Baking soda. Arm & Hammer is easily the most recognizable baking soda brand in America, which is exactly why it deserves closer scrutiny. While the brand has built decades of trust through aggressive marketing and household familiarity, popularity does not automatically equal quality. One of the main concerns with Arm & Hammer baking soda is industrial-scale processing. The sodium bicarbonate is mined and refined in massive quantities to meet global demand. Large-scale refining often prioritizes speed and consistency over purity, which can lead to trace impurities that are never disclosed on the label. While these impurities may be within legal limits, they still raise questions for people using baking soda daily in food, oral care, or personal hygiene. Another issue is overuse beyond baking. Arm & Hammer heavily promotes its baking soda for deodorizing, teeth whitening, skin care, and cleaning. The problem is that baking soda intended for industrial versatility is not necessarily optimized for ingestion or sensitive applications. Particle size inconsistency can cause harsh abrasiveness, especially when used on teeth or skin. There's also a false sense of safety associated with the brand. Because it's been around for so long, consumers rarely question it. Yet Arm & Hammer provides very little transparency about batch testing, sourcing specifics, or long-term purity audits. The label simply states pure baking soda, without clarifying how purity is verified. Effectiveness is another subtle issue. Many home bakers report inconsistent results, especially in delicate recipes where precise chemical reactions matter. This suggests variability in potency, which can be frustrating and unreliable for regular use. Lastly, Arm & Hammer relies heavily on branding rather than improvement. While competitors have begun focusing on food-grade sourcing, aluminum-free certifications, and cleaner processing disclosures, Arm & Hammer largely remains unchanged. Its dominance in the market reduces incentive to innovate. In short, while Arm & Hammer baking soda may be familiar and widely available, its industrial origins, lack of transparency, and one-size-fits-all approach make it a brand many consumers should reconsider, especially for frequent or multi-purpose use. Baking soda. Brand number 2. Great Value Baking Soda. Great Value Baking Soda, Walmart's in-house brand, is designed with one primary goal in mind: keeping costs as low as possible. While affordability can be appealing, it often comes at the expense of quality, consistency, and transparency. One of the biggest concerns with Great Value Baking Soda is unclear sourcing. Walmart does not disclose where the sodium bicarbonate is mined or how it is processed. In private label products, suppliers can change frequently, meaning the baking soda you buy today may be completely different from the one you purchased last month. Consistency issues are commonly reported. Some batches dissolve quickly and react well, while others feel grainy or weak. This inconsistency can ruin baked goods, especially recipes that rely heavily on precise leavening. When a basic ingredient can't be trusted to perform the same way every time, it becomes a liability in the kitchen. Purity is another concern. Low-cost manufacturing